Okay. Yep. Okay, let me allow you so you can be able to share your screen. Okay. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hearing you
Okay.
loud and clear.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so glad that we are here today to hear from an amazing lady. It's been an amazing time getting to know her, and one thing I would like to say is that she's always smiling. So you, she's always, yes, she's always smiling. So we are going to be seeing much of her smiles, and it's my honor and privilege to inform us that we have on this call our partner who we are going to be listening to and sharing from her wealth of knowledge, and that's Miss Elizabeth Terry. And Elizabeth Terry is a master personal development trainer, and she happens to be the MD, the managing director of Think, Grow, Lead, TGL
Smile.
Smile. So she is an internationally recognized and certified trainer and coach of neuro linguistics programming. She's committed to helping people to make quantum leap and also self-actualize. So it's quite an interesting time for us. So let's jump into our discussion and conversation for the day, which is on developing if an effective vision board. And I want to say it's our honor, everyone from Choya. So this is brought to you by Choya. This is powered by Choya. So we get into this, and within the conversation or towards the end, we'll take questions and answers, and then we will also get to tell you more of our plans of what we are building and what we are doing at Choya. So nice to have you, Elizabeth. Over to you.
Yes. Good morning, Igwe. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Oh, terrific. It is really an honor and a privilege. Excuse me, I'm recovering from the flu. To be here this morning and sharing the stage with Chuya. It really has been a wonderful journey in that entrepreneurship group, and it is really great to be able to partner with you on this webinar this morning. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. But before I do, I want to just say a very special welcome to everyone who is on the webinar. I can't see everybody, but I know that there are persons both from Nigeria as well as Jamaica. And I just want to give a shout out. Maybe persons can just, type in the chat where they're from, so that we have an idea of who is actually on the call, the countries that are represented here today. Would you just do that? Just put your country in and, tell us good morning. Let me see, I don't think I can actually see the chat. Yay, hang on a second. Yes, so we have Jamaica. Yes, yes, yes. We have several people from Jamaica. Fantastic. The Jamaican posse is out. Thank you so much for coming. And we have, of course, we have Nigeria also represented. So that is just wonderful. You know, we have such deep links with the African community, and just being able to hold these kinds of conversations together is really an awesome experience. So yes, Nigeria. Thank you all, and thank you for being here. So when Igwe asked me to do this, I was really, really excited to come on this morning and to share a little bit with you about how we can position our minds, because I know that the topic is on vision boarding, and we're certainly going to get to that. But I wanted to take the opportunity to really set the stage, because the vision board is like the outcome of an experience and of knowing how to use your mind for results. So we're going to be talking a little bit about how to set yourself up first. But I wanted to start off by just saying that I'm a part of a awesome group of companies in Kingston, Jamaica, and it's called Think, Grow, Lead. And as you see here, there are many different entities that are represented. And in particular, you might notice sales. And so Think, Grow, Lead really started off as a Salesforce development company. So those of you who might have an interest in, you know, learning how to be sales gurus, then I tell you, this is the place to come. And right in the middle is TGL Smile. And TGL Smile is the entity that I head up. And it is really about how you can improve and take your customer service to the nth level. How can you really become stars in customer service? You know, sales is one side, but customer service is the other. And without both, then you are probably not going to do very well. And so our mission is really to develop customer-centric organizations that deliver exceptional customer service. And you might be wondering, well, what does SMILE stand for? And it stands for Service Made into Life-Changing Experiences. And so we not only focus on customer service, but we also do leadership training and personal development. And we believe in a technology that we call inside first, inside out, because we believe everything really emanates from the individual. And so we need to work on that aspect of ourselves and bring that to the table, no matter what we do. So our agenda for today is really to, first of all, introduce you to what I call true leaders' superpowers. And I consider everybody on this call in a position of leadership, whether you actually hold the title, leader, entrepreneur, manager, just agent, maybe in your own business. Whatever it is your title is, you are a leader. And even if you're just a parent, you are in fact leading in some way, shape, or form. So I wanted to introduce you to two, what I call the superpowers of leaders. And then to move into how vision can drive your results. And looking at values. So we're going to do a little exercise, a little interactivity here for you to look at what are your values and what's your why, and why is your why so important, because that is really what's going to help you move forward. And how to write your vision statement, because writing it gives you clarity of thought, and then you can go and be so wonderfully creative in designing your vision board. So we're going to talk about your vision board at the very end and give you some examples of that. So first of all, let's look at the first, what I call the first superpower. And this is something that a lot of people don't really appreciate. And that is that we are cause to our effect. And I'm going to explain this a little more because sometimes people see that and they say, oh, what the heck does that mean? And so this is meaning that you really take 100% responsibility for the results and the outcomes that you get in your life. And it is that frame that really sets us up for success. So Steve Maraboli said that, you know, searching, whoops, I'm so sorry. Trying to move this thing out of my line of sight here. Stop blaming outside circumstances for your inside chaos. And when you think of what we've gone through in the last 20 months with COVID, right? And all that chaos. And we think to ourselves, okay, so Liz, what are you telling me? That COVID didn't happen or isn't happening, or all of these things are just not impacting me. And so I just need to be calm inside. Well, yes, that is where you're going to get your sense of security from. And we have to take charge of ourselves no matter what. So the first thing is really, unfortunately, for some reason, these slides are not moving the way I'd intended. So on one side of the equation is what we call cause. And on the other side is what we call effect. Now, if I'm on the effect side of the equation, I am always finding reasons for why I am not able to get the results that I want in life. So in Jamaica, just to give you a really, really simple example, maybe something like this happens in Nigeria too. So you might have an employee, and that employee is habitually late. And here we would say something like, you know, the employee might say something, boy, miss, the boss leave me. And so in that expression, what that person is really saying is the boss is at fault, right? Not I am late, and that's why I need to, you know, buck up. I need to make some changes. I need to make sure that I am going to do something different in order to get the result that I want, which is to be on time. So we always find excuses for not getting the results that we want. Versus when we slip over to the other side of the equation, which is the cause side of the equation, where we take 100% responsibility for the results that are coming at us, right? And this might be in your business. And you might be saying, but you know, there are all of these circumstances. But yes, we need to, you've heard the word pivoting, right? And being agile and flexible. And it is with the right mindset that produces the kind of behavior and actions that will allow us to get different results. So we have to take that 100% responsibility and be at cause in order to be empowered as individuals. And so I just leave you with a question, and this is something for you to maybe ponder on. Which side of the equation am I on? Am I on the cause, or am I at the effect when it comes to the circumstances in my life? Am I taking that 100% responsibility and outcome and accountability for the outcomes, right? So it's not just, some people make a differentiation between responsibility and accountability. So, you know, accountability is responsible for the outcomes, not just the activities. So what can you do? Is your team 100% responsible and accountable for the outcomes? Are you going to look at the circumstances and learn from them, and then decide on a different move in order to get the kinds of results that you want? It's part of the be, do, have model. So in the be, do, have model of life, your thinking, your feeling, which translates into, as leaders, your vision and your values and your leadership style, that is who you are being. And who you are being and what you bring to the table influences what you do, the kinds of behavior. So even though everybody, you know, probably knows this in terms of management, right? Plan, do, check, act, and then you go around the circle again. But it is stepping back from that and recognizing that we have to really be concerned about us as individuals, because we have to be first that success, we have to have the right mindset, the vision, and the values that are going to drive the actions that we take in order to have the success that we have. Any comments from the group as we go through? I'm happy to get some feedback as we move through the presentation. So does that make sense to people? Is that what you are currently doing? You can, write a little note in the chat. Okay, so makes sense? Absolutely. All right. Good, good, good. All right, so the second superpower, as I call it, the principle, is that clarity of vision rather, and focus act like magnets. Now, I'm sure everybody in this room has heard of the law of attraction, right? And so essentially, we are energetic beings. And our energy and our rate of vibration, that's what differentiates us and differentiates different types of matter. It's our energy and our rate of vibration. And so when we have a particular vision and focus, it brings a certain energy to the table, and that energy magnetizes to us the kinds of opportunities and circumstances that will help us to achieve the kind of outcomes that we want. Doesn't mean that we are not actually going to take action towards it, but it does assist us in putting us in the right frame, the right energetic frame, in order to do that. Sorry, excuse me 1 second. Ha, my slides are stuck. Woo. Let me pause this a second. Let's start again. Get where I am. Right. Good. George Lucas says, always remember your focus determines your reality. So wherever you put your attention, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And so if you're putting your attention on the kinds of things that are not going to give you the results that you want, the negative thinking, for example, that this is not going to work, and you're going to reap the results of that kind of focus. So our biology actually sets us up in order to attain the success that we want. So 11 million bits per second. A lot of you are in the field of computer science on this call, right? In IT and ICT. So 11 million bits per second of information are coming at us through our 5 senses on a secondly basis, right? 11 million bits. And our conscious mind can only take in 126. Now you can see that there is a huge difference between the two, right? So what happens to the other bits of information? Well, some of it we just simply delete, and we don't actually pay any attention to it at all. And some of it seeps into our unconscious mind. And of course, that can assist us later on, and I'll show you how. So we have, as part of our biology, we have a bundle of nerves called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. And so that system really acts as our GPS. So when we set a vision, when we set a goal for ourselves, that system, which is right, a bundle of nerves right at the base of where our brain meets our brain stem, right here, then that bundle of nerves helps us to find the kinds of information that perhaps is deeply embedded in your unconscious and brings it up to you to say, hey, remember this? You may have had an experience, for example, I did, and this is a real experience, that I wanted to buy a red car. I wanted to buy a red car because I like the color red. And well, when I bought it, I didn't see that many red cars on the road. As soon as I started to focus my attention on red cars, guess what? There was just so many red cars. So what that system does is allow us to gain the full potential from the opportunities that are around us that we may not have noticed or come to our conscious attention before. So this is the science behind why it's so important to set a goal, set a vision, which is what we are here and about today. So our vision is at the top. And we call it, some people will say, well, this vision actually is connecting us with something that is a higher part of ourselves. And so that vision is part of our, what we might consider to be something, a higher consciousness. And it allows us to contribute at a more practical level to maybe our SDGs, right? Sustainable Development Goals. So it's something that you are a larger part of. And it helps to drive and influence how you see yourself as an individual. Who am I in that scheme of things? And then what are the values and beliefs that I have? So this pyramid here is actually called from one of the founders of NLP, Robert Dills. And he, a social scientist, an anthropologist, social anthropologist, he discovered that these key, what he called logical levels, work in a way that the higher logical level influences everything below it. So the higher up the hierarchy you go, the more that that particular aspect influences other aspects of your life. So when we have a vision for ourselves, and this is part of something greater than we are, then it gives us the juice, the drive, and the focus that is going to influence how I see myself. It influences the values and beliefs that I have, and also the kinds of competencies that I will need to learn. What is the skills that I need in order to fulfill these particular things? And the behavior, how am I going to behave? What if I have a vision of myself as being a really successful entrepreneur in the space of ICT, contributing to the development of humanity. So how do I act? What is my behavior within my team, for example? And at the end, what is the environment in which I'm operating? So today we're going to focus on the vision, and we're going to focus on your values and beliefs. And values drive our behavior. So let me pause for a moment and see if there are any questions before I go forward. Any questions from the group that are here? Yes, as somebody says, Trudy, Colleen, that I would start at the bottom. Yes, if you're going to change, you have to change from the top down. That's the most influential. Yeah. Okay, everybody says clear so far. So values. So let's talk a little bit about values, because values are the things that are really super important to you. And we're going to do a little exercise, a little self-reflection as we, I want you to really begin to not just, listen to me, but to actually do what is required in order to discover your own true values, because that's important in setting your vision and in developing your vision board. So, I don't know why this is giving me some problems today. Mm-hmm. Excellent. So here are just some further descriptions about values. So as I said, values are things that are important to us. You know, like peace, serenity, harmony. Maybe it might be something that is goodwill, community building, participation. There may be a host, whether our actions are right or wrong, or good or bad. So if you have, for example, let's say you have a value around transparency and honesty, and you are not being that way, or someone in your team is not living up to those values, you will obviously react very negatively towards this. They also act as a filter. So remember I spoke about that there's 11 million bits per second of information that are coming at you, and you're only taking in 126. So your values act as a filtration system. So the things that actually align with your values are the things that you will tend to notice and pay attention to. Or the ones that, you know, are threatening your values, those are the ones that might stand out to you as well. So they act as a filter, and they decide about how we feel about our actions as well. They guide every decision that we make. And so here's the important thing. When you're setting yourself up for success, you want to make sure that your vision and your values are aligned, because your decisions and the actions that you take are going to flow from that vision. So we're going to do a very quick little exercise here. And that is discovering what your values are. So I want to just ask each person, each individual here on the call, you're just going to take a few moments, and you're going to ask yourself through these questions. And because most people here are coming from the space of their business or career, then I want you to focus on that aspect of your life. So what does my business or career mean to me? So I'm going to pause and ask you to just self-reflect on that question. What does it mean to me? And so some words might come up as I ask you that question. What are some of the words that come up for you? What does your business mean to you? Would you like to share in the chat? What does that mean to you? Reputation, security, great. Okay, anyone else? Service, fantastic. All right, fulfillment, great, 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 great. Freedom, sense of responsibility. All right, fantastic. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, if you wanted to dig deeper into them, you could ask yourself, how will I know when I have it? And get, oh, there's a question. Vivian, please just open your mic and ask. Vivian? Independence. Okay, I do see a hand up. Okay, Vivian, if you're not able to speak, you could always put your question in the chat. Purpose.
Liz.
Yes.
Financial success.
Financial success. Okay.
Great.
That's from
Okay.
CJ, using Marigold's
yes.
code.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Success. So how do people from poor backgrounds develop themselves beyond their background? Yeah, that's a good question. And I want to come, maybe at the end, we can come back to that one. But essentially, it takes drive, it takes determination, it takes a vision, it takes seeing yourself beyond where you are. So it's in keeping with what we're doing, because those people who have been able to raise themselves up from circumstances that are, you know, very difficult, have this drive and this vision of themselves as being much more than they are at this moment. So meeting a need, obviously, yes, in fact, if you're in business, you must meet a need. But my question is to you, then what is important to you about meeting that need? Because that in itself is not a value, right? So what is important to you about meeting a need? There's something below that, and that's why we keep on asking that question, right? So maybe it is that in meeting a need, you are able to pursue and make a successful business. And what does that mean to you? Then maybe that is financial freedom. You get it? So it is drilling down to figure out what is at the bottom, right, of those words that you have there, right? And you cycle through and you brainstorm and come up with those. So you probably by now have a list, right? You have a list of words, of values that are there that you can now put in some kind of hierarchy, and that you can in fact say, well, this one is more important to me than the other. And that is how we come up with your priority values. So the values that are really important to you are those that you're going to rank at the very top. Does that make sense? So if you want to, at this moment, what you can do is to look at the words that you have now developed, right? Look at them and rank your values in order of importance. So let's say you had 10. I don't know how many you have. Then go through and say which one is the most important to me. And then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And you'll come up with a listing. So what I'd like to know is, what is your number one value when you have done that? So when you've ranked them, I'd like to know what is your number one value at the very top. Right. I just ask you to jot them in. Number one value. What's the one at the very top? Fulfillment. Fulfillment of purpose. Excellent. Okay. And I am going to ask you, let me see. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Okeke, Valentine. What is your purpose? Do you know what that is? What's your purpose? You said fulfillment of purpose. And I see financial freedom. Okay, you know what that is. Okay, very good. I just wanted to make sure that you did. All right. So you have an idea of those things that are really important to you. And what you want to do is, even if you thought about them before, now you have them firmly in your mind as, these are the things that are really driving me. These are the things that are important. And if I don't have these in my life, then this business is perhaps not something that is going to be really meaningful to me. So I must make sure that I am, in fact, fulfilling my purpose, for example, that I am attaining financial freedom. I don't know why this is happening. It could be because maybe the internet is a bit slow on my side. Not sure why. Apologies. I figured out how to do it. Okay, So moving along, our vision is also important because it aligns us with our inner creative intelligence. So really, have you ever been in a situation where you kind of are so involved, enjoying what you're doing, that you're kind of in a zone? I know I have. And at that point, we seem to be accessing something that is greater than ourselves. There is a creative energy, and we are all creative people, right? So there is that inner creative energy that somehow we align with, and it allows us to have access to something even greater than ourselves. We also want to have a vision because it gives us the juice and the inspiration to keep going. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in any business opportunity at this point in time, if you are, making money through your own entrepreneurial endeavor, then and even if you're in a job, if it is that you don't have some purpose and meaning in it, and your values, your why is not there for you, then it's really difficult to get out of bed in the morning. Very hard, because you're going to have challenges along the way. You'll have setbacks, you'll have things that don't work out right, but it is the why that keeps us going. It is that vision of who we are that will allow us to keep going despite the obstacles. And of course, if you are heading up a team, this is what sets the tone for the team. When you come to the table with your vision, with your energy, with your level of motivation and leadership, that is what will inspire and keep your team going and motivated. And of course, often it really is, sorry, this thing is blocking me here. So it is also going to contribute to a greater whole. As I mentioned, your, for example, your SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, or even for your communities where you are residing. Here we go again. Patience. Patience, patience. Okay, so I wanted to make the distinction between your vision, your goals, and your plan. Because sometimes it isn't all that clear to persons, and I just wanted to make sure that you were well aware of what those distinctions are. So your vision answers to the question, the why, right? So why am I doing this? Your goal is going to set out the what, exactly what it is that I'm going to achieve. And your plan is your strategy, right? It's the how you are actually going to achieve it. So here, when we talk about your vision and your vision board, we're not getting into the what, and we're not getting into the how. And sometimes it's a real temptation for those of us who want to get down to the details right away to start thinking, okay, so how am I going to do that? And no, this is not possible. And that's what we don't want. We want to have that big picture first. And then as we have cemented our vision and we feel really good about it and we feel inspired, then we whittle down and we say, well, okay, what can we do realistically now during the first 3 months or the first 6 months or the first year? And then we get into the actual planning of it. I wanted to share with you this, this video. And I think I'm going to just make sure that you are going to hear the sound. Yes, it is. It is on. And it's a very quick video. And it really speaks to the power of why, and why it is that it is so important to know what your why
People know
is.
that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's, you know, it's pretty cool. So you're a musical director? Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could
Oops.
sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now, right now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
Let's go. Now. Here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
Okay, so the power of the why, and I really believe it's worth each and every one of you really giving some keen consideration to what is your why. You know, is it enough to drive you forward? Is it enough to keep you going on those days when it's just slogging and things are not going right and people are not doing what you want them to do and the money isn't coming? What is your why? So just give that some thought. And speaking of thought, your creative raw material, because some people say, oh, I'm not creative, I'm not, Liz, I'm not one of those people that I can sit down and paint and draw and, you know, all of that kind of thing. Well, your creative raw material, your creativity starts in your mind. And so it starts with how you are thinking. Every time you have a thought, you are being creative. So what thoughts are you thinking? What are they making you feel? Because your thoughts affect your feelings, and your feelings affect the words that you say and the actions that you take. And this is all leading to either success or failure, or maybe somewhere in between. So setting yourself up for success means that you're going to have that vision. You're going to have that vision really, really clear. You have your values and you know your purpose and your why. And then from there, everything else emanates. Now, this might be a little, you know, woo-woo for some people, but meditation is a really powerful tool for getting you in a space of clarity. Clarity about who you are, dismissing thoughts, because we have what we call the monkey mind that keeps chatting all the time. So meditation, those of you who may practice it, really does help to clear the mind and to get you back to center. Another way that you can do this is through music, helping you to get into the zone, because music is really powerful. And you probably realize that because if I'm sure you've had the experience of, you know, playing a piece of music and all of a sudden it transports you back to a time and place when, you know, and so it is really something exceedingly powerful. So if you don't want to use meditation, use music, but use something that is going to get you in a state of relaxation so that you can access that creative mind and part of you. The next step is to really write your vision statement. And so some of the things that are important to bear in mind, the points that you need to bear in mind as you are writing it, is first of all, use the present tense. Don't write it, I will, in 5 years time or 2 years time, or by the end of the year, I will be earning X amount of money. That's not going to be really helpful. You need to write it in the present tense because your mind cannot tell the difference between imagined thought and real experience. And you want your mind to feel what it is like to actually live in that experience now. Why? Because that is going to help keep you motivated and help you to, jump over and surmount some of those obstacles that you're going to face. So use the present tense and make it as emotive as possible. So use the kind of words that you like, that the adjectives that are sensory, that, say, well, I'm gonna feel this, I'm gonna see this, I'm gonna taste this. Maybe I smell success, or whatever that smells like to you, but make it really emotive. And bear in mind that this vision is for you, it's for nobody else. It's not for your wife, it's not for your partner, it's not for your mother, your father, your brother, your team, maybe. It's really for you. And this is your vision, and you need to own it. So it must inspire and compel you. And make it memorable. So, my suggestion is, even if you want to write a whole page and paragraph to describe it, see if you can bring it down and articulate it into, a few words that really resonate with you. So, for example, mine, I shared with you here, is I inspire, encourage, and support the discovery and nurturing of the greatness within. Now that's mine, and I feel it, I resonate with it, and I can memorize it easily. Apples is to make the best products on earth and to leave the world better than we found it. So that's the kind of thing that you're looking for, because that way you can make it memorable for yourself. And if this is going to translate into a vision for your company, then you want to make sure that there is a connection between your vision and the vision of your company, right? So that the two are in sync. Any questions? Any questions on this? All right, so now we're ready to do our vision board. You must say, go, wait, hey, I thought this was about vision boarding. Where is the vision board? So here it is. So you've written your vision statement, and that's obviously something that a takeaway activity for yourself. If you haven't already got one, then you need to write one. And why do I say write it first? Because when you write it first, it helps to focus your attention on what is it now you're going to put in your vision board. So what do I really want? So having done that statement and knowing your values, you are pretty clear now on what it is that you want. The second step is to gather your vision board supplies. So for those of you who like magazines, then you can gather up a lot of magazines with the kinds of images, pictures, photos that represent your goals, your vision for yourself. Get some glue, scissors, maybe a big piece of cartridge paper, and maybe you want paint. For those who are definitely more artistic, then you want to be able to have your paintbrush or your crayons or your pens, whatever it is that you want to use to make that vision board come alive for you. So gather those all up. And then you're going to choose the kinds of images that really mean something to you, that when you see it, you say, yeah, I feel it. I feel ya. And that's what you're going to cut out. So you cut out the kinds of images, and then, as I said, if you are truly are an artist, then you might want to be painting and drawing and, using your markers and crayons to fill in some of those spaces and make it something that's really powerful for you. So you're going to put these together, and most of all, guys, you need to have fun while you're doing it. So this might take you an hour. It might take you half an hour, depending on how organized you are and how much fun you're having. So you can do it in as short or as long a time as you want, but you have to really get yourself into the exercise. Some of us have got, especially those of us who are in business, we have got so used to using our left brain that we want to get things done quickly and we want to use our logic mind. This is not about logic mind thinking. This is about accessing your intuitive side, your creative side. And so that's why it takes some time. And so I suggest to you that you put some time aside, maybe an afternoon, a couple of hours, where you're just going to revel in the opportunity to have fun with yourself. Now, when you have done that vision board and you feel happy and satisfied with it, then you're going to find a place where you are going to hang it up. Put it on a wall, well, if it's big, if you put it on a mirror, you won't be able to use the mirror, but put it somewhere where you are going to be able to see it daily. You could take a picture of it, and then you have it digitally, and you could put it on your laptop, you could put it on your phone, carry it around with you, but it's really helping you to program your unconscious mind towards your goals. Why? Because remember, where attention goes, energy flows. So you want to have front and center that vision of where you see yourself going. That is your vision for you. And that's what you want to keep front and center all the time. So here we have some questions, but there are also some examples of vision boards that I want to share with you. Just give me a moment, and I will bring those up. In the meantime, as I'm doing that, are there any questions? Go right ahead. Open your mic and ask the question.
Go ahead.
Ask the question, Liz.
Yes, go right ahead.
Would you be willing to come here and do a vision board exercise? I'll invite the people.
Oh, okay. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, it's a good thing that that request came from, Jamaica. It might be a little bit more tricky to go to Nigeria. Although I'd love to go.
I'm serious.
I'd love to go. Yes, indeed. Why am I not able to get rid of this? Finally. So let me just open this and
Hello, everyone. So you
hello.
can go ahead, you can go ahead and ask your questions, or you drop it on the comment box. Okay, so feel free to ask your questions.
So here's an example of a vision board that a friend of mine did actually. And these were some of the things on her vision board.
You must want to succeed.
Mm-hmm. And here are a couple that are more male-oriented, because sometimes, you know, men feel that this is not something for them. And so, yeah. Yeah, so I want to make sure that people do feel that it is not just for one gender, it is for everyone. So here we have two that are clearly male-oriented. And you can see, you know, some of the key words, perhaps relating to the values that these persons have, you know, being unstoppable, building a better life, focus, moving up. So it's really a very creative activity, and allows you to dig deep within yourself and to really come up with the things that are most important to you. Are there any questions? From the room? I think we have a number of persons here. Chuya, Igwe,
Yes.
do you have any
Okay.
questions?
Okay, so let me start by asking, you know, most times we, or oftentimes we are scared of, if I put up my vision board, people will be like, are you the one trying to achieve this? Can you actually do it? Are you sure? So that makes us not to put it out for people to see. In as much it's for us, we keep it on,
Yes.
on the mirror, we keep it on our phones, we keep it on our PCs. But you know, when your peers see what your vision looks like, they try to discourage you. So
Yeah.
what would you say? Will you encourage such a person to put it on their PCs and make it open?
Yes. I really appreciate that question, because often, you know, when we have a vision for ourselves, our friends, and some of them are well-meaning, they don't mean us harm, but because they don't want to see us disappointed, for example, they will decide, well, you know, this is too big for you, Igwe. You know, you might get disappointed. So why don't you, you know, maybe a bit off more than you can chew. So maybe better just whittle that vision down. And so, you know, it's like keeping a good secret to yourself. Sometimes, if you know that your friends are likely, and your colleagues are likely to, you know, kind of question your ability, or laugh at it, or whatever, then yes, I absolutely think you should keep it to yourself. But make sure that it is in a place that you know it and you see it, because it takes a very firm conviction and someone who is rock solid in their confidence to not be shaken by people around who are naysayers. Right? So let me repeat that. It takes someone who is very sure of themselves, confident, and convinced of their ability to achieve that, not to be shaken by naysayers. And often it is easier to keep it to yourself until you are confident enough, until the signs that it is actually evolving and coming to fruition are there to provide evidence that it is actually happening, right? I see a couple hands up. So let me ask Donna, would you like to just open your mic and ask
Hi,
your
good
question?
morning, good afternoon.
Good morning. Yes, a morning and afternoon, yes.
Yes. So my question is, where I guess we're at different stages in our lives where what my vision was and what it is now, or I guess I'm still struggling to figure out what my vision should be at this particular stage in my career. And I wonder if you have any resources that you could share with us. How do you figure out your purpose even at this point? Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I was actually trained in is called a passion test facilitator. And it really helps individuals to appreciate what are those things that are they're passionate about, that give them joy. Because life sometimes happens and we get disconnected from the things that not only are we really good at, but the thing, because we can learn how to be good at many things, but sometimes those are not the things that really give us the most joy and pleasure. So being able to find your passion, and you can actually Google passion test, and I think there's some free resources there that may help you to align with some of the things. And passions are a little different from values, but it'll put you on the right track anyway. And they're sort of like breadcrumbs that lead you towards your purpose. So feel free to just check out passiontest.com. And I think there are some free resources there that you can use in order to align with the things that are most important to you, your passions. Hope that helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so reluctant to pronounce names incorrectly, but Okeke?
Hi, Miss Liz.
Yes.
Good afternoon from here.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, actually, this is a wonderful presentation from you, and I appreciate that. Do you think environment has a lot of role to play when it comes to vision? Just like Nigeria as a case study. There are some states in my country where you relax, you don't have anything bothering you, no competition, like a healthy competition, you don't have plans to, forge ahead or be like your youth. And there are some places you go in Nigeria, where you see your fellow youths, both people who are older than, making it big, following their vision, following their passion and career in life. You'll be forced to work hard and design your vision and, put yourself in place. So does the environment has a lot of things to play when it comes to vision? What do you have to say about that?
Yes, thank you for the question. I would say, yes, it does. Who we are around, when they say birds of a feather flock together, so your friends, your associates, and by extension, your environment play a role in how you think. And it does take often someone or some situation to happen for a breakthrough to occur for an individual. And often it's those things that are traumatic. In many instances, it's the trauma, it's the challenge that really pushes us, because it is so painful, that situation, that it's like we have to get out. And often it is those situations that will propel us towards a bigger vision and a bigger, thinking of, I have to do something different. And those things will trigger us. So your environment does definitely play a part. And it is, I think, and this is part of, why I do what I do, is really to help people to create opportunities, to help create opportunities for people to see things differently. to see a different perspective. Because if you are like this in your world, you know, you're down in the trenches, then it's very hard to hold your head up and see the sky, because everything around you is a trench. And sometimes it takes a tap on the shoulder for somebody to say, hey, look up, because there is a difference. There is a different way of doing things. So yes, to answer your question, the environment does play a role, but we can influence it. And that's the power of that paradigm that I showed you earlier, that model, that our vision can then impact on our values, belief, or identity, our competencies, our capabilities, and our environment. So who we are being when we are, you know, at a point now that we know our vision and we are firm in our values, we do have the power to influence our environment, but not everyone is there yet. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I think we can just take one more question because of our time, so we can round up. So let's take a question. I think I can see two hands here. Bond can ask his question, then we can quickly wrap up for the day.
Sure.
Hello, Bond.
I'm not sure if you're talking to me. This is Colleen Wint-Bond, thanks. Hi, Liz, long time.
Hi.
I just wanted to find out, in terms of timing, you know, you had a slide there with the road 2020, 21, 22. Is there a specific sort of time frame? Is it sort of like at the beginning of the year we review our vision, or you know, when do you feel that it's a good time to review things and you know, maybe make a change in it?
Yeah, well, I would say that it's something, first of all, that you are going to be reviewing, especially in this very, I use the term VUCA environment. It's volatile, uncertain, and complex and ambiguous. And in this kind of environment, things can change on a dime. And so really, I would say that you need to be sort of touching base with it, and especially in a business context, and sort of saying, hey, this still relevant here, especially when it comes to now, you know, chunking down on goals and strategies. You have to do that on a quite a regular basis. On a personal level, then I would say to you that the beginning of the year is kind of the time when people take a sort of more reflective stance and look back on the year that has passed and sort of set sail for, you know, the year ahead. And so usually it's this time of year, January, the beginning, that people sort of say, yeah, okay, now let me take stock of what I've done, what I've achieved, what I haven't, and let's see, does that still play into my vision? Do I feel connected with it? Because your vision can change. And as we go through different stages of life, different things become more important to us. So at some stage of life, it might be just all about, you know, maybe business, but then we realize that family is really important, or good health is important. And I mean, I was listening to something yesterday about the Great Resignation in the United States, and maybe this is all affecting people in Nigeria too, that especially young people are no longer going to be bound by the normal 9-to-5 workplace, because they have a different vision for themselves now, especially having spent, you know, how many months working from home, and some realizing that the job that they have been in is really just not aligning with who they are and their purpose. And so it's just amazing that more and more people are recognizing that it's not just about the money. The money is important, but it's not the be all and end all, and that we need to be connected with something bigger than ourselves. And so just to come back to your question, Colleen, I would say that this time of year is a really great time to review and reflect. But I also think that during the course of the year, it's good to be monitoring how you are going and progressing in achieving and living up to that vision. Not just the vision, but the values and so forth that you have set out. I hope that helped.
Wow, wow, wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It's been an awesome time. I really appreciate, and everyone, all of us from Choya, we are saying a very big thank you to you. So please, if you have any question, what we can simply do is just type it on the comment section. Because of time, just type it there so that we can proceed to the next thing. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Yes.
This is a masterclass. This is a masterclass.
Yes.
So we also will be looking at getting your consent so we can be able to share this resource to everyone
Sure.
who participated. Because even for me, I'm looking at having this as a masterclass for my team so we can reflect on it every single day. Thank you so much. Thank you
Great.
so much.
Wonderful to have been here and to be of service. And I will share the presentation so that you can send it out to the persons who attended. Happy to do that. And, keep the light burning over there in Nigeria. And happy to support you in whatever way we can.
Yeah, thank you so much. So thank you everyone who joined in this conversation. So in the next few minutes, we'll be rounding off. And we promise that we are going to announce the dates of our launch. So quickly, we are Choya, and I'll just show you in just 3 to 5 minutes what we are doing, and you understand who we are and why we have been doing what we are doing. So I want to get a confirmation that you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so very quickly, we are Choya, and we are a startup company. We are a startup company, and what we are doing is very simple. We are connecting people to discover local businesses through electronic word of mouth. That's what we are doing, and let me put this in presentation mode. Okay, I think it's much better.
I don't know if everybody is seeing you, Igwe, but it'd be lovely to see you. I'm not seeing you.
Hello, can you?
I am seeing him on the screen.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
So Choya is helping and empowering people to discover great local businesses through word of mouth. And why we are doing what we are doing is because we are losing a lot of money in terms of poor customer experience. So we see over $4.7 trillion consumer spending are incurred as a result of poor customer experience. And we also continue to see that most people are no longer trusting online ads. So when small businesses run online ads on Facebook, on Google, on radio, on TV, it's becoming challenging because people don't know them, people don't trust them, and there's no way for people to connect to what they are doing. So the easiest and the most effective advertising approach for them should have been word of mouth, which is the most effective form of marketing. So the challenge is that they cannot be able to integrate it in their business, so they leverage only the local approach. So what we are doing is very simple, is to help these businesses, small businesses, to integrate word of mouth into their business, digitizing word of mouth so they can be able to get visibility. But in turn, we help consumers and customers to make better buying decisions. So our goal is to help reduce the over 4.7 trillion in consumer spending due to poor customer experience. So that is why we created a solution which is a pay-to-pay short mobile video review sharing platform that connects people to discover great local businesses, offers, and events from their friends. So in summary, what we are doing is to help people to discover great local businesses through their friends. So how can you be able to discover a great business that you had an experience with? How can you be able to discover it from people that already have patronized them? So we are doing that. We are digitizing that process, and we are making it easier for people to discover great businesses locally around them through people who they trust. Unlike going online and seeing a small business that you don't know, so it's hard for you to be able to buy from them, but you can easily buy from them when you are seeing someone else you know and your friends who are buying from them and are testifying that this is a great business. Likewise, you can also be able to save your money from the hands of wrong businesses because your friend was able to share his experience about this business. So that can save you from losing your money to the wrong businesses. So that's simply what we are doing. And I know most of us know about Google reviews and some other platforms, but what we are doing differently is that we are customer to customer. So what it simply means is that once a friend within your network shares his experience with a local business, you get to know about that. So we are connecting customers to customers. We are empowering customers to discover great local businesses through other customers. So we are not telling businesses, oh, set up your account and then get people to review. So and people will not discover. No, but what we are doing differently from every other person is that we are leveraging the social aspect in terms of video, and also we are making it engaging that you can be able to discover great local businesses from other person's engagement. And the most important thing that we are doing that no other person is doing at the moment is that we are leveraging the power of customers to customers to discover great local businesses. So, and I met Elizabeth last year during Entrepreneurship World Cup, and Chera has been part of Entrepreneurship World Cup where we got some support, and also we have also been part of Alibaba Business School during the Alibaba Get Global Challenge as one of the top 53 startups. Okay, and also we have also received some support from persons like Development Bank of Nigeria and others. So we are excited around what we are doing, and that is why we want you to be part of our vision. We want you to be part of our journey. So come 20th of February, we will be pushing our products to be live and for it to be public for everyone to use. So at the moment, we have limited number of persons. So we have limited number of persons who will be using and testing our platform, but by 20th, we'll be releasing the beta version of the product so every other person can be able to have access to it. So we want you to be part of this journey, and if you are a business and early stage investor organization, we want you to talk to us if you find it interesting on how to leverage our word of mouth advertising service to grow your business. So we are open to your calls. Our contact is on the screen. You can be able to talk to us or send us an email, and or check out our website to learn more about what we are doing. So join us on our mission to help people make better buying decisions. So simple. If you didn't remember anything, just remember that you can save a loved one, you can save your friends from losing their money to wrong businesses and wrong products by simply sharing your experience so they can be able to discover it. So we are a customer to customer review sharing platform for people to connect and discover great local businesses. Thank you so much for Thank you so much for joining this webinar. And why we organize this webinar is because we are social, and we also want to see this as a corporate social responsibility to see how we can continue to impact our community so all of us can continue to succeed. So lastly, as we leave, as we retire to all our respective activities, I will quickly want to introduce our partner who also supported us in making this webinar a success, which happens to be RAD5 Tech Hub. So I will ask John Nanaoji to quickly, they are part of our partners who made this possible, just like Elizabeth made this possible. Thank you, Elizabeth. So let's hear from John so we can wrap up for the day. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, thank you, Mr. Igwe. It's nice being on this call, and I must really say a lot of value has been taken from Ms. Liz from her section. Thank you very much, Liz. It was quite a wonderful section. I hope to share these resources to all the ventures in the hub. So in less than 3 minutes, RAD5 is a venture studio that helps entrepreneurs and innovators to build their ideas from the idea stage, to build businesses from the idea stage down to products, and we help them to find a market fit. So that is to say that any young innovator, young entrepreneur who wants to build his or her idea comes into our studio. We work with them, develop their idea, build a product, and help them to tweak their product in order to find the best market fit to launch. So this is what we do passionately, and we are happy that Choya happens to be one of the ventures in the hub. And every year we launch out an opportunity to have other entrepreneurs to join our studio. And that is what sorry, I'm not using a slide because of our time. For those who are asking for the slide. So every year we open up a call for other young entrepreneurs, innovators, developers to join the studio. And we opened a call last week, which runs through the end of this month. It is RAD5 Startup Club, RAD5, RAD5 Startup Club. So if you have an idea that you want to build, just like Liz has shown us today about your vision, and you have a vision and it's all around technology, don't hesitate to apply to join our startup club and be ready to walk through your idea, and we'll provide you with all the resources, with all the materials, with all the manpower in order to build your idea into a product and find the best market fit. So this is the opportunity that we would love to share with all the participants here. And I look forward to reviewing your application and ensuring that your interest matches our goal. Thank you very much. You can visit our website, it's on our blog. Visit RAD5, rad5.com.ng, and every other information is on the website. All right, Mr. Igwe, to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nana. I dropped the website for RAD5 on the comment section, so you can check it out. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for all our friends who joined us from Jamaica. You know, in Nigeria we call it Jamaica. That's how we call it. We pronounce it as Jamaica, but I think I learned from you that it's Jamaica, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah, Jamaica. And I was researching to know the difference between Jamaica and the Caribbeans. So I've been able to learn a lot getting to meet you. So thank you everyone who joined us from Jamaica. And you know, my team was asking, it seems that we are going to look at launching in Jamaica because we are already having a lot of friends from over there. So we hope once we launch there, we hope to receive a lot of love and support from every single one of you. So thank you everyone for joining, especially thank you Elizabeth, and I hope if we call on you some other day, you will be able to kind of provide us this service. We are so much grateful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
From everyone
You're very
here.
welcome.
yeah, from everyone here at Choya, we want to say thank you for making this possible. And thank you everyone for joining. If we can just take some photograph, that would be nice. So we can just, so everyone, if we can on our camera, so we can just take some selfies and
Smile.
yeah, and smile. Okay, I can see Donna Blake. Hi. Donna, Donna, where are you joining us from?
Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, I miss Lucky
Wow.
Dube. Okay. So can we take some photograph? Who is going to lead it? Okay, a moment. Make sure your camera is on. Okay, so uh can someone just give us a vote of 10 so it wouldn't be like we like someone can just say thank you to
Out.
Lizzie, thank you Elizabeth for making this possible. So someone can volunteer to do that while we take a shot. Can someone do that?
Everybody's shy.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we can
yes,
hear you.
yes. Can hear
Okay,
you.
my name is Gualo Confidence. So thank you, Liz, and thank you, Choya, and the team lead, Mr. Igwe. Thank you so much, even all the participants. Of course, vision board is something every leader and entrepreneur need to look into and even map out before starting a year. In fact, at some point, I was thinking how we had this section like December approaching January so that we can just run with the map. But of course, it's not late. I'm happy to be here and I'm happy for the values we got so far. So for what Rat 5 and Choya is doing, I'm really impressed about their works and what they do. And I trust that reviews will go global. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, all right. So I think we have taken some screenshots. So you can also do that from your own end. So you can share from your own end. So if you're if you want to snap from your own end, you can do that from your own end. Thank you everyone who have been believing in this vision. Thank you so much. So let's have a great day ahead, and hopefully we'll get to meet every single one of us once we launch. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone.